So I was talking to this fella at John's Bar. He lived in a house just in a neighboring town, and he said that his friend owned the house and he was working in that town, so he decided to rent a room from him. And there was another fella that rented the room upstairs, but before he moved in, he was told that he didn't necessarily know that the place was haunted, but a couple times they'd heard like children giggling down in the basement, and the basement, old house, pretty creepy, weird cellar with an extra thick door, like pretty spooky. He never even went in there, and upstairs is just freaky as hell. Lived there for 2 years, never went upstairs, and if he didn't have to go into the basement to do his laundry, he never would have gone into the basement. The whole place was just really creepy. Well, while he lived there, the owner had actually received his copy of the abstract, and he was like, well, this might be why there's so much creepy crap going on in this house. The room you're living in used to be a doctor's office. He had an in-home doctor practice, and yeah, there's been all kinds of people died here. Pretty weird. It's probably why the house is haunted. Well, as he lived there, there'd be weird stuff. He worked nights, so he was up all night long on his days off, and like the toilet would flush just for no reason. Hear squeaks, like, what was that? One night he was alone and watching TV, no one else was there. And the dog was sitting by his side, and it stood up and walked over to the door going upstairs, and hair standing up on his neck. He started growling, and he was like, Cody, knock that off. And the dog's just growling and growling, and pretty soon, wham, the door at the top of the stairs just slams shut, and the dog just goes berserk biting. And he was like, whoa, that was pretty creepy. So he got up and went and closed the door at the bottom of the stairs as well. He did not go up to investigate. And everyone's like, a window must have been open or something. It was fall. The windows were not open. The house was sealed up. That was pretty creepy. Regardless, the point of the story, one night a bunch of people were down at the local tavern, and quite a few of them had too much to drink. So the fella telling me the story, he was sober, and he was like, you guys should just all come back to my house. You shouldn't be driving. So 4 or 5 people came back to his house to drive, and it was just a few short blocks away. The one guy shouldn't have been driving, but he did because he needed to work the next day and he wanted his truck there. So he decides he's going to sleep on the couch. Everybody's just like, find a place to sleep. Moments after everyone went to sleep, he just like up and out, slams the door, out of there. The next day, he called up and he's like, hey man, I'm sorry I got all weirded out and left, but I was laying with my head on the arm of the couch near the kitchen door, and I heard something moving around, and I was like, oh, must be some more people coming from the bar. So I just leaned my head over and looked into the kitchen to see who it was, and all the damn chairs and pots and pans clinking, chairs sliding around the kitchen. I was just like, I'm fucking out of here. So drove home drunk. Shouldn't have done it. So everyone's getting ready, trying to find a place to sleep, going their own ways, and the one fellow sleeping on the couch, he was like, heard the stories about everything that went off, and he was like, oh, hope the boogeyman don't get me, ooh. And I was like, don't taunt them, man. They don't like it. I got a pretty good arrangement with them. They leave me alone, I leave them alone. Don't mess with them. But he was being all smart. Anyhow, everybody went to bed, and he laid there sleeping with his head on the armrest of the couch, and pretty soon he heard some noise in the kitchen, and he assumed some more people were coming in from the bar, so he leaned his head over and looked into the kitchen to see who it was, and there was no one coming from the bar. Pots and pans clanking, stuff flying around, chairs sliding around in the kitchen, and he just up off the couch and out the front door in his truck, and off he went. He drove home 20 miles drunk because he was not staying in that house. Shouldn't have messed with him. I warned him.